it is full coverage. Like, you could cover tattoos with this. It's insane. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Whew. So today, I don't think I've done a video like this in a really long time, which is weird because I actually love doing this type of video. That's like a favorites video. This one's gonna be best and worst foundations for specifically acne prone skin. So I kind of wanted to talk about this. I don't know why I had this idea. Well, I know why actually. I was thinking about how I miss doing these videos of like best and worst foundations, best and worst concealers, best and worst mascaras, and then an idea just like popped into my head and I was like, you know what I haven't done ever is specific best and worst for specific skin types. And you guys, you know, I've said this a million times, but I've grown to love skin makeup so much, and like I just feel like the foundation and the skin is what my passion is when it comes to makeup. Today I have a lot of colorful shindigs going on, but usually, you know, I focus on the skin. So I thought, why not do something where it does focus on the skin? It's best and worst, but it's like for those of you guys who are dealing with acne or who have acne prone skin like I do. So this one's for you guys. The main thing that I wanted to tell you guys about is, you know, the basics of like what you're looking for if you are dealing with breakouts. You definitely want to find something that has the coverage. I mean, that's a given. But what's surprising, I mean, may be surprising to some of you guys, is that you really want to look for stuff that's on the lighter weight side. When I say lightweight, I'm not talking about CC creams. I'm not talking about no makeup kind of things. I'm talking about the actual consistency of the foundation itself. So even if it's a full coverage foundation, it is lightweight so that it doesn't stick to every single pore, every single, you know, blemish that's on your face. And you definitely don't want anything that is too matte or too dry, because that is again going to actually stick to those breakouts, especially as you wear your makeup throughout the day. It's gonna stick to those breakouts and it's just not gonna be a fun situation. That's kind of like the cake face situation, I feel, is when your foundation is like too dry, too heavy, weighing down into your skin. So we're gonna go over some of my favorite options and also some of the ones that I would stray away from if you are dealing with breakouts. And I have a mix of drugstore and high-end. Okay, first and foremost, one of my newest favorites, Uoma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. So this is a newer product to me, but I will for sure say it has quickly stolen my heart just because it's a very unique formula. It is super nice coverage, medium to full coverage. It's not super glowy or super radiant. It does dry down into like a very comfortable velvety matte finish, but you guys are gonna die when you see this consistency. Like, it is almost like water, but you can see that when I start blending this in, it just sinks into the skin like nothing else. Like, it literally looks satiny and velvety once it's completely dried. It is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful formula. It is one that has completely stolen my heart over the last couple of weeks, I guess you'd say, months. I want to say it was longer than that, but I think it's only been a couple weeks. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that something is in one of my bestie if I really haven't found that it's somewhat life-changing. I know life-changing is a big word, but like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, if it's something that I really feel like is different from anything else on the market, those are the products that I'm talking about today. If you are looking for like a medium coverage foundation, this is the one that I would recommend. So this is the Dream Urban Cover. It is called Full Coverage Protective Makeup Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 50, but I personally wouldn't put it in the category of like a super full coverage. It gives nice coverage for sure, but for me, like, you know, I'm a full coverage kind of gal, so like I would particularly put this in the like medium coverage section. That being said, it is beautiful, so pretty on any skin type. I have dry skin, but I've seen this on, you know, girls and guys and friends with oily skin, what am I trying to say, and it's just such a pretty product all around. Again, you are looking for that lightweight feel so that it doesn't, you know, cling on to the blemishes or the acne patches that you may be getting right now. As you can see, it's not as lightweight as the previous one that I was mentioning, but I've literally never seen a foundation as lightweight as that one. That's so full coverage. This is like the medium basic, amazing, everyday foundation, in my opinion, for our acne prone girls and guys out there. Like, I just feel like this is a solid one to wear if you're going for more of that natural skin look, but you want the coverage that's not going to dry out your skin, that's not gonna cling on to anything, but it's not overly glowy that it's gonna highlight everything either. And definitely my pick for a great drugstore everyday foundation if you're looking for that like medium to full coverage kind of vibe. Even if you have acne prone skin, this is not gonna highlight it. It's gonna cover it enough for that everyday wear. This is a similar one from a high-end brand that has really, like, I think this is one of the best launches of 2020, the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation. I've raved about this a lot of times, so you know, I don't really have to go over it a ton in this video, but I love it. It has skincare benefits in here, which for someone who deals with acne, whenever I hear that, I'm just like, oh, like that is what I'm looking for, you know what I mean? So it's supposed to be brightening, smoothing, firming, hydrating, and it's supposed to even out your skin tone. So, I mean, what more could you ask for, right? Like, that is just the dream team right there. I would say this has a similar coverage, in my opinion, to the Maybelline one, in that like medium, really flawless looking skin type. Definitely not the light coverage, but definitely not the fullest coverage, and can be buildable. So both of these are buildable, everyday, amazing foundations in my opinion. I've said in my opinion a lot, and I'm sure you guys know that this is my opinion. So I'm just gonna stop saying that right here. This is actually a brand new bottle. So this is Y365, and you can see it has quite a similar texture to that Maybelline foundation. And this one I would specifically recommend for anyone out there who has dry skin, because this one is just so hydrating. Like, I feel like I could wear this and at the end of the day, my skin feels even more hydrated than it did at the beginning of the day. Like, it is really an incredible formula. I love that it has skincare benefits in there. And I think they did a really good job of making a foundation that's hydrating, medium coverage, buildable coverage though, asterisk buildable coverage. And on top of that, will still stay all day. It has that like skin-like effect, but it's still amazing for covering acne because it's lightweight and it has that medium coverage. And when I'm saying medium, like, you guys have to understand that, like, on my scale, since I'm such a full coverage kind of girl, medium on my scale might even be full coverage on your scale, just because, again, I love full coverage foundations. So just keep that in mind, because you know who I am. You know what you came here for. So moving on, should I throw in one that like I wouldn't recommend? I love NYX, you know this, but the Born To Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation, I would not recommend this for acne prone skin, because like I was saying in the beginning, you definitely do not want something that's too glowy on the skin. That is just going to highlight that area, highlight the skin, highlight the texture if you have any, highlight bumps in the skin, and really draw more attention to it. So that's why I would stray from anything like this that has a lot of radiance in it. Like this one, it doesn't have shimmer in it, but I would say it almost has like, it has a lot of glow. I mean, it's called the Born To Glow, that's what they meant it for, but I'm just saying for acne prone skin specifically, I would stray from anything like this. Okay, I mean, the OG, you guys know, you just know. Maybelline Matte and Poreless, obviously, it's an OG. It's mattifying, it's not dry on the skin in my humble opinion. It's full coverage, it does not get dry, it does not move throughout the day. It is going to cover those acne breakouts, scars, etc. This is on the thicker side for the foundations that I have here to tell you guys about, but this is still one that I would recommend if you're dealing with acne, because it's gonna stay put on your face. It's matte and poreless, you know, because it's gonna smooth everything out, stay on your face, and keep you matte throughout the day. And especially if you have oily skin, this is one that I would definitely gravitate towards through these products, because this is more on the matte side than any of the other ones that I've mentioned. I used to have oily skin, so that's why, you know, obviously I fell in love with this back in the day, and I don't have oily skin anymore. So I still use it, I still love it, but specifically oily skin loves this. I just want to talk about another matte, very matte foundation that is amazing for your you know, your acne prone skin. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin full coverage 24-hour foundation. I have to say, this is probably one of the longest lasting foundations that I personally have used. It is a cream formula, so it's definitely a lot different than those liquidy formulas that I was talking about in the beginning, but it is fire. Fuego, okay? Fuego. That is the consistency. Like, she's a cream, okay? She's not a liquid, she's not a water-like formula. She is a thick and creamy kind of girl. It is full coverage. This is the fullest coverage foundation that I'm talking about today. And even though it has this insane amount of coverage, like, you could cover tattoos with this, it's insane. If you're having a really red, you know those like cystic acne marks that are under the skin and it's like red and it hurts and like nothing covers it, even a full coverage foundation sometimes rubs away, this is your girl. This is just the fullest of the fulls, and it's still such a great formula because, and this is like the little asterisk on this one, because this one doesn't grab onto dry spots, and I know because I have dry skin, it just kind of makes a covering over it, like makes a layer over the skin. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but like it really does, and in the best way possible. Like, I literally say that in the best way that I can, because this has saved me so many times. If I've had a photo shoot that I need to go to, if I've had situations where like I'm having this terrible breakout that is making me feel super underconfident in my own skin, this is my savior. It lasts 24 hours. I'm just gonna go over the specs because I feel like I got really crazy right there. It lasts 24 hours. Like, it is a super long lasting foundation. I've fallen asleep in it, okay. It is full coverage. It is very creamy on the skin, but not heavy. It's still lightweight. It still has that lightweight texture. And on top of that, this one is definitely matte, so it's not gonna highlight anything. Matte without being dry. So kind of another one that would not be my pick. I'm just really like mixing them in, sprinkling them into the video. The Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer from Colourpop. Now, this one is a little different because I actually love this product. Like, I really, really do. But that being said, I would not recommend it if you deal with a lot of breakouts, or if you're dealing with a breakout currently, because it's just not gonna give you the coverage that you're looking for. You're gonna have to build it on and build it on, and it's just gonna be kind of like a little cakey mess if you keep building it on. And on top of that, it is really glowy on the skin, which obviously, you know, obviously I love. Like, that is one of my favorite things about makeup, is glowy skin. But when you're dealing with breakouts, you don't want to glow in the wrong places. Like, for me personally, you know, I tend to break out right here on my forehead, down the T-zone, sometimes on my cheeks if it's like due to food, to anything I'm eating, or hormonal stuff or whatever. And it's okay to apply highlight in the places that you want to highlight, like maybe the tops of the cheekbones, down the nose, etc., etc. But when you're putting a glowy foundation all over, it's just not gonna be flattering on those sections of the face that are having the breakouts and the texture, because again, it's just gonna bring a lot of attention to it, and like when the light hits it, it's gonna stand out more on your face. This one is like kind of an OG for me too. I've been using this for probably 2 years now. I think it came out about 2 years ago. So ever since it came out, the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This is such a beautiful finish to the skin. When I'm talking about foundations that I've used for years, I think that should really tell you guys a lot about the product, because I am always trying out new products. I'm always getting new products, and when something again stands the test of time, like, I just think that speaks a lot to it, because I'm constantly thinking like, oh, I love how that one looks on my skin, let me go back to that. Oh, even though I have all these like 300 new foundations to try out, I really like that one, let me put that one on today. So this one is another cream formula. I definitely would not say that this is as thick as the Smashbox one, but it definitely does have that cream texture to it that's just gonna sit on top of those breakouts and kind of fill in the divots, I guess you could say. You know when breakouts get like really bumpy? I feel like this smooths everything out. It's really beautiful in photos. This one is not as matte as the Smashbox one, so if you have dry skin, you may want to, you know, check this one out if you're looking for something that's gonna give you that like inner radiance but not look glowy. That's what you don't want, obviously. It's like this little, it's like Goldilocks, you know, not too dry, not too matte, not too glowy. You know, you want something in between for dealing with these breakouts. And when I say not too matte, I meant not too dry. You don't want it too dry to like stick to the breakouts by any means. I'm sure we've all been there, but you also don't want it too glowy because then it's gonna highlight everything. I know I'm being very repetitive, but I just really want you guys to have this info so that, you know, when you're looking for new foundations, you can kind of like keep this stuff in mind. So anyways, this is the NARS Naturally Radiant. You can see how beautiful that coverage is. Like, it has that full coverage effect without ever feeling dry on the skin. It lasts a really long time as well, and it just has like the right amount of radiance. You know, it's not too crazy for those breakouts, but also just this as my basic foundation, bomb. Like, even if you're having a good skin day, a really good option for a new foundation if you're looking for one. And then finally, the Milani Screen Queen. It's a really cute little bottle. I actually like this packaging a lot. It's in between a thicker cream and a liquid, in my opinion. As far as like the drugstore, the 3 drugstore ones that I have talked about, you know, the Maybelline Fit Me, the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover, this one kind of sits in the middle. So this one is the most matte, the fullest coverage in my opinion. This one is the medium coverage one that's not really that matte. And then this one's like somewhere in the middle. Like, I would say this is like a very natural skin-like finish. And when you are dealing with breakouts, like especially towards the last couple of days when they're kind of going away but you still want something to cover them, I feel like going with just a natural finish is the best bet because it's, again, gonna give you the coverage. This one is gonna give you the coverage, and it's still gonna sink in and blend really nicely and look like skin. So I like this one a lot, and I'm sure you guys have seen me using it a lot because it's just so beautiful on the skin. Like, I really feel like it has a skin like natural finish. I've said that way too many times in like 2 sentences, so don't come for me for that. One thing that I wanted to mention is if you're having a breakout or if you have acne prone skin, I would actually recommend trying out brushes. Foundation brushes, when you're buffing in the foundation, it actually gives you more coverage than a typical sponge. There's obviously gonna be some sponges that give you more coverage or less coverage, but typically speaking, when I'm having a breakout, I choose a brush because instead of the sponge soaking up some of the product, the foundation brush actually just buffs it onto the skin. So it makes it really nice and easy to like get that flawless finish and smooth over the breakouts instead of feeling like the sponge is like eating up the product and you're not getting that full coverage that you want during a breakout. So my 2 favorite foundation brushes are the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection, really nice one that's a little more like fluffy and less dense, and then this one for full coverage. This is an OG, but it's the Sigma F80 Flat Kabuki. This is like if you want the fullest coverage possible, this is the one you want to go with because it has this very dense flat head on it that's just gonna like buff in the foundation so perfectly. And this was like from their anniversary collection, but they also have it in like black, and they have a new one that's like a rose gold collection. So they have a lot of different colors of the handle, but the F80 is like, it's gonna be your best friend. All right, that is it, you guys. I love you so much, and I hope this helps you guys. Obviously, I've been through my fair share of acne situations, and I think it just helps to feel like you can cover it as best as possible, you know? But yeah, if you're going through it right now, just know we've all been there. Nobody's perfect. Like, literally all of us go through it, so you're definitely not alone, and I love you guys so much, and you're beautiful no matter what. Bye, guys. Oh, that's so weird. Don't ever do that again. Please don't ever do that again.